forsaken you, but with great mercies will I gather you, says Yahweh. In a little wrath, I hid my face from you for a small moment, but with everlasting kindness, Yah will have mercy on you. Says Yahweh, your Redeemer. Says Yahweh, your Redeemer. Therefore, the redeemed shall return with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away. They shall be saved. For it's Yahweh who redeems Israel. But now, says Yahweh, that created you, fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by my name. When you pass through the waters, you will not be drowned. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned.
Crowd, Abba Yahweh, to the nation this day, Abba Yahweh, to let them know, Abba Yahweh, that you never lost the battle, Abba Yahweh, and that you take them on through, Abba Yahweh, that they're not alone, Abba Yahweh. Oh, Abba Yahweh, we have your way in the midst of this house. Touch those that need a touch today in their bodies, Abba Yahweh. For we know, Abba Yahweh, there's nothing too impossible for you, Abba Yahweh. Because by your word, Abba Yahweh, when you speak, Abba Yahweh, come into existence, Abba Yahweh. And we know, Abba Yahweh, that you cannot lie, Abba Yahweh. Oh, your precious son, YHWH, that great Ahava, Abba Yahweh. Oh, that precious Shalom that was shed in, Abba Yahweh. How can we not forget, Abba Yahweh? Because it made us a special people unto you, Abba Yahweh. It made us a Kadosh people, Abba Yahweh. A set apart people, Abba Yahweh. A people that been transformed because of the Siddiq and the righteous of our Abba Yahweh. Oh, we know, Abba Yahweh, that you will be with your nation, Abba Yahweh. We know you'll be right by our side, Abba Yahweh. For we know even in our weakness, Abba Yahweh, oh, we have someone that'll make us strong, Abba Yahweh. Oh, Oh, we told you today, Abba Yahweh. Oh, we will lift you up today, Abba Yahweh. Oh, the sun will touch the Hashemayim today, Abba Yahweh. Oh, even the Malakim will rejoice, Abba Yahweh. Because it is all of the honor unto you, Abba Yahweh. Money and things, Abba Yahweh, we don't mean nothing to you, Abba Yahweh. But Abba Yahweh, the voice and the praises that we have in our lips, Abba Yahweh, we will not be ashamed to give it back unto you this day, Abba Yahweh. The voices of the sons of the nation that they lift today, Abba Yahweh, is all unto you, Abba Yahweh. Oh, TOLBIT, TOLBIT. For YHWH, HaMashiach. Hallelujah, hallelujah. TOLBIT, TOLBIT. For YHWH, HaMashiach. Oh, you worthy, Abba Yahweh. Oh, you worthy. Hallelujah, hallelujah. TOLBIT, TOLBIT. Oh, let us stand to our feet, nation. Blow the trumpet in the mountain of Yahweh and YHWH, HaMashiach. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, yes. Precious Abba Yahweh. Oh, yes, to the Hashemayim. Oh, yes. Kadosh is your mighty name. Oh, yes. Your Makut to come. Oh, yes. Your will be done. And earth, Abba Yahweh. And it is the Hashemayim. Give us this day our daily nation. Forgive us our debt, Abba Yahweh, and we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil, Abba Yahweh. For yours is the Makut, the power, and the honor, Abba Yahweh. Forever, Abba Yahweh. So be it, Abba Yahweh. May it be fulfilled in the precious mighty name of YHWH. HaMashiach, Baruch Yom Malak this day, Abba Yahweh. As he speak the wisdom, Abba Yahweh, of your deep realm, your word to your nation, Abba Yahweh. Feed us the lesson this day, Abba Yahweh, till we won't know more, Abba Yahweh. In the precious mighty name of YHWH, HaMashiach, I pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. It's a wonderful Yom YisraYah'ale. To yet be given life one more day. We may enter into his bed to offer an offering of praise. Hallelujah. So let us sing YisraYah'ale. Let us rejoice in his promise. YHWH, HaMashiach.
Not
Blessed Shabbaton of Yas, time of great revival and refreshing. I'm so glad that he invited me for this occasion, this moment, that I may understand with certainty the power of his Torah. We can never understand this unless it is verbalized. It must be spoken. Emunah comes by hearing. We must shenach. We must hear what Yah says, what he speaks to us. There's a discipline within us that there is a faithfulness of obedience that we will obey. So we greet our friends. And certainly I'm glad for my enemies. I love for you being in the midst. I have no function with that because I need you.
Hallelujah.
You are the ones that keep me straight and in line, keep me walking circumspectly, and that is simply examining my heart, my mind, my ways, that I do that consistently, because as the old ones would say, I want to make it into the kingdom. This is not something phony to me, it is real. It is a mandate of my life, and my life is ordered by what I understand in the book, what I study in the book. It is vitally important to understand that. I want to teach with great emphasis upon two words. One can be utilized as an adjective. It also can be utilized as an adverb and a noun, and certainly as a pronoun. And I want to take steps to utilize it as an adjective. And the other one is a noun, but has profound impact. We are people that we're under captivity. It is not as much as being in strange lands. It is the captivity of our own sins, corruption, our violent, evil, sadistic, damnable, devilish ways that we perpetrate in our minds, and we orchestrate them by our actions of the testimony that we present. And so it is of the utmost importance we understand words. There is nothing more appalling to me for one to speak on an issue or a thing and has no ability to organize a concept in a constructive dialogue or conversation. I didn't mean that. Yah means everything he says, doesn't he?
Yes.
There is nothing that is bogus about what he says. It's plain and it is simple, so we must talk plain. Before you do anything, I want to take us back to the elementaries. You that are older, you young ones that are learning, I want to deal with two words before I begin teaching. That is the only way you're going to understand the teaching today. It is the words all, A-L-L. It is the word nations, N-A-T-I-O-N-S. So that is a form of a plural, isn't it? Because there is an A-S at the end. So I want to deal with those two words. I don't want you to open scripture today. I want you to just hear what I say. In order for me to construct this, I must go and examine the most formidable details of language. In essence, you cannot of yourself create a word. It may be for you and your environment, but when it comes to linguistics, linguistics is a proper phonetic sounding of words that translate into every, E-V-E-R-Y, every language. Now that language may have a different enunciation, a pronunciation of that words, but the same basic rules of the French language is the same of the English. The same basic rules of the Greek language is the same of the Hebraic language. And Yah does not put ignorant people that are unlearned. They are unlearned because they are not willing to learn, to instruct his people. You must be a wise connoisseur of Yah's truth. That's what I'm going to teach today, but I must define these two words. I want to define them in the English vernacular that we speak. I want to see if it translates in the same perspective, or it gives us the same optical view or mental view of the thing that it's expressing in the Greek language. And I want to see if all three are compatible. If it's an adjective in the English language, what is it in the Greek language? It's an adjective. And so these are the links that we must traverse to teach Yah's people. And it consumes time and energy, above all a will to please Him. I want to teach from the word captivity, from the word shibuth. SHABBAT is the Shibi. A nation under the ruins of captivity. Where are they now? Can you identify them? Can you identify a true Hebrew YisraYah'ale? Can we? Is it based upon certain principles and certain opticals? One skin? One's father, who is your father? You didn't ask him who is his father's father's father. Maybe that would have shed a little light differently. This is a stupid, unlearned generation.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
So I'm going to teach on the captivity of a nation. Where are they? I will tell you where they are. I will show you where they are. But I want you to hear the language, the grammatic teaching today, first of all. I want to deal with the words A-L-L. That's all, isn't it?
Yes.
I want to deal with it first in the vernacular that I speak English. The word all, in this preference of this teaching, I will use the adjective form because I need it to modify, to make clear with preciseness the noun that I will use, nation. So I wanted to modify, give credibility, and make sure that it is certain. So the word all is simply, I don't want you to forget this word, because it is the consensus among all language, the whole. W-H-O-L-E, it is the whole. Everything, nothing left, it is the whole. It refers to a quantity and every, comma, everything. I don't want to use it in the form of a proverb because it deals with simply quantity, the numerics of it. But I want to use it in the form of an adjective. You are with me?
Yes.
So that we may understand the whole, the numerics of it, which no man truly knows. He couldn't count them if he wanted to.
True.
That's the English. I want to look at this in the same form as an adjective. In the Greek language, it is pas, P-A-S, pas. It implies everything, each, every, any, all up. You don't have to write this down. You can define it by the resources and a relative available. I want you to hear me.
Yes.
The whole. Did I not read that from the English? The whole or the whole? It is the whole. It is everything. There is nothing, all things, and everything. It is everyone. That is what that three little letter word implies. A, one vowel and two consonants. A-L-L. They consume the fullness of all. There is nothing that is left for one to actually add any dimension. Does Yah want all of us or some of us?
Oh.
So if He wants all of us, that means we must give Him all, right?
Yeah.
So you all concur with me on that, in that definitive, all right? Let's look at the word kol. K-O-L-E. It is an expression of the voice of Yah. It tells you the volume of His voice.
Yeah.
When Yah used the word kol as it associated with His voice, as we see in Torah, He intends for us to understand that you don't negate one word that I say. You listen to everything that I utter from my loins. You can't deny one word. You must allow the fullness of the richness of my whole. Everything I speak is everything that I am. So everything that Yah speaks, it is everything that He is, right?
Yeah.
Everything that you are, it is everything that you speak. By power of testimony, which is of confession. So the word kol, K-O-L-E, means the whole, hence anything that follows, all, any, of every. It implies the totality the totalness of everything that it is. It derives from the word chala, which is a word that implies completion, perfect.
Yes.
It is the finished product of everything.
Yes.
3, that carries the same indication of the word whole. W-H-O-L-E. That's clear. Is it clear?
Yes.
All right. Now, I want to define the word nation. All nations. Captivity, where are they? Show me where the people of Yah are. So I want to define the word nation, N-A-T-I-O-N, with a S, nations. In the English vernacular, it is simply, it is a territory or a country in of itself. Not only that now, it is a member of a tribe, not just YisraYah'ale, but a very tribe of people. It is an aggregation of persons of the same ethnic family. In essence, it is the numerics, it's the number, it is the association, it is the growth of a family of the same origin. So the Roberts clan in that degree would be a clan, a tribe to themselves, a nation. So the Horn clan would be a nation in of itself.
Yes.
And this is what is principle about that. Often, they all speak the same language. Now that's a noun in the English vernacular.
Yes.
In the Greekish, it is called E-T-H, ethnos. Ethnos. It carries the same indication. It is a noun. So a noun in English is a noun in Greek, and it is a noun in the Hebrew language.
Yes.
You notice there is no differentiation in meanings. The similarity of the ingredients of the importance, they are all the same. This is an ignorant generation. None of us have the power of the linguistic skills to create words.
Hallelujah.
Those that are pioneers of words, they searched the entire world. They went from language to understand the application of a word, how applicable it would apply in the language, whereby I will translate that, not transliteral, but the meaning is transliteral.
Yes.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
In the Greek, it is ethnos. It is a multitude. It is a multitude, and the Greek gives a little more emphasis. Regardless if it's a flock of birds, all blue jays hang together. All crows hang together.
Yes.
Nobody flies with an eagle, but another eagle.
Hallelujah.
The cranes hang together.
Yes.
So it is a multitude, whether men or beasts, associated with living together. That's a nation. And those that are associated in the same communal construct, they live together. It is a company. It is a troop. It is a swarm of bees in a thing. It says this in the Old Testament, foreign nations, this is what a foreign nation was a nation not shekha, not attentive to the ways of Yah, to the true Yah. They were called pagans and Gentiles. That is what the word ethnos, those that are associated with the same custom,
Yes.
the same mannerism. I'm inquisitive to ask us, you that have joined us, those that declare that they are Hebrew Israelites, do they truly shekha, or in common terminology, you truly worship Yah?
Yes.
You truly do that? Or if it's some kind of fad
Right.
that's steeped in emotionalism of ignorance, is that what you call, quote, worship, unquote, your stupidity?
Yes.
That's what it implies. And then I will utilize what we call the Hebraic language last. It is called goy, a goin. It tells us this. Usually, not all the cases, but usually of non-Hebraic people, Gentile, heathen, nation people. Can I ask us all a question? Have we as a nation in Torah been identified as heathens? And our actions, our activities are the same as heathens? Certainly we are. And so the word goy, you utilize that in Torah, you have to be a student of searching. He used it when it applies to us as a nation, G-O-Y or G-O-E-E. He used it when he's talking about the heathens, those that, no, not Yah, so it is interchangeable. And so when he deals with the people of his bosom of his love, he will use the words A-M. He will do that with Gentiles as well. When there's a cohesiveness of collectiveness of a people, he will call them, or the Torah uses the words am, A-M. He will call us my people. Yes. There is a Shibboth, a people that are bound by circumstances of their ignorance. Yes. They are bound by their own captivity of their own unwilderness. Yes. They are not willing. Yes. They are bound by the lust of their sins and their corruption that produce one thing. It is an apprehension against the ways of Yah. They don't love Yah. They don't love YHWH. And certainly there is no appetite of them loving one another. There is no concern and no care. I'm going to make this plain to the nation today. Where are the people? And a generation that is so ignorant. Yes. They will constitute the few that are in this hemisphere as the nation of YisraYah'ale. They are dumb, yes, wild jackasses. They're stupid. Yes. I will prove everything today. Hallelujah. Did I utilize the term A-L-L-O? All. All. And I said I would utilize that in the form of adjective, right? Yes. So unless that modifies every noun that I use, when it comes to nations, then reject everything I say. And I'm going to do this in segments, or in order whereby it deals with a specific. I was amazed that as I was studying this morning, and I went to the Torah numbers and what each segment implies, all right? Now I want to begin in the Torah, the writing of the book, all right? Is that all right?
Yeah.
I want to begin on Devarim, Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 37. Everyone that identified with Hebrewism, they always take you here. I want to begin here. The people of captivity, the kala, the kara, the curses that rest upon them. But let us be attentive to what Moshe says here in Devarim chapter 28 and verse 37. Yah says to his nation, and you shall, that is an affirmation. It is an affirmative. You shall become a shema. You shall become an astonishment. Yes. There will be no flowering. You will not have the beauty that represent the kingdom blessings. You will be deflowered. You will be deserted. And we are people that desert one another, don't we? Yeah. We have no flowering of love. This is what he's implying. I will prove it as I go. Hallelujah. I'm not like one of the juveniles that talk. They have nothing to back them up. Torah backs up everything I will utter today. Hallelujah. Yah says that you shall become an astonishment or shock. There's a comma. You're going to be appalling. There's no beauty about you. There's no clarity of you. You have no confession or testimony. And then he says you shall become a mashal, a proverb, a proverbial saying, as though it was something in the past. When one speaks of you, there's no emphasis on the clarity of who you are, your nature, and your abilities. He says, and you're going to become a shinina, a byword. There is not one that call themselves Hebrew Israelites will not direct you to this verse here. He says, you're going to become a word that is sharp. It is cutting. It has an effect that it taunts you. It mocks you. I've seen no one mock in the fashion in this modern day generation than those that call themselves Hebrew Israelites. They mock each other with one of the most violent words in language kind. It begins with the end. They call each other that. They deflower the women and call them every kind of doggish title there is. They have no regards for the daughters, the women. I don't care if they're not daughters of Zion. They have no aspiration, kindness at all. And that's a fact. But listen to this. God says you're going to become that where? In the Americas? He says among, listen, all nations.
Yes.
I want you to understand that. I'm going to point out that continuously. He said not just in the Americas, not just in Brazil. Jamaica is not a nation. It is an isle of the sea. It was perpetrated by man, the Spanish, the colonized, no more than Trinidad, Tobago. It is not a nation. And the Torah is specific when it talks about an isle, an island, and a nation. Now, Brazil is a nation. It's on the coastal. It is surrounded by waters. A peninsula. It's a vast country. And there is not one Hebrew sign that shows the Brazilians as a people that's a part of the Hebrew nation. They are lying, devilish dogs, and I would debate any of them. You can take advantage of the ignorant on the streets, but you cannot do that with me. You understand? That's a fact. So, nation of Yah, he says, among all nations, where who is, does that say Yah? Yah shall what? He shall what? Lead. It is the word nahar. Nahar, where Yah shall lead you. In essence, Yah says, I'm going to drive you by my force. I'm going to drive you away because of your ignorance, your defiance, your corruption, your evil sadistic ways. Yah says, I'm going to drive you there because you're corrupt, we're evil, we're sadistic, and we frankly do not care for one another. We don't even have love in our hearts. We don't even have that. And that's a fact. You think a child understands love? They may not understand the concepts, but they understand. They understand the feel. That baby understands the feel of his mother's breast. That son understands the feel and the tenderness of his father. He doesn't have to tell him, I love you. It is innate in them. They're born with that. Yah says, I'm going to lead you in the Americas or all nations. So all nations include every nation. All nations include every nation. He used the words all goyim, where Yah shall nahag. I'm going to draw you by the force of my breath. Why? Because we're sinful, we're evil, and we are sadistic liars that are so corrupt. We don't give a damn about him. We care about me. There is no beauty, it's a devouring. You have to alter everything it is about you to make you acceptable to you. I do not one thing to alter who I am. I am who I am. Listen. YHWH gives us such a profound utterance. Now everything that I speak will tie in with the course that I will take. This is what YHWH says here in Lucas 21:23. He speaks of a time of great agony, a time of sarah, what we call tribulations. And he speaks of the conditions of the land because of the captivity of his people and where they are, okay? Don't forget that in Devarim 28:37, the word all. Put your little line under it as we go. Put a little mark there so you won't forget. A word that has really no meaning to us because it doesn't speak with great volume, but it speaks with the fullness of all volume. Look what YHWH speaks here. He said, but woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck. They have birth nothing in their days. That is more important. They give life to it. They give energy to that thing. Not just a child of their birth, but also the things that they birth in their hearts. They allow that to extract from them the love of Almighty Yah. For example, you have birthed this unfettered love for the wicked. Oh, I will pray for them. They're going to get right. They're not going to get right. You know why? Because you're not right. You're not right. In those days, and there shall be great sarah, there shall be great distress, agony in the land, Eretz. And he says, wrath upon this people. Now, who is the book written to? It's written to YisraYah'ale, isn't it? Yes. So who is this people he's talking about? I will show you this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and they shall be led away hallucis. They shall be led away captive. They're going to be brought, taken into bondage, being captive and captivated. We are a people that's captivated by our lives, are we not? Yes. Our sins, and they're going to go into captivity. Listen, and it says into. Is that the implications of that? Yes. Does it say into? Yes. Does it say the Americas? Or does it say all nations? All nations. It says all nations, does it not? Yes. Every nation upon the face of the earth. Yah scattered his nation like a winnow, that when it blows in the wheat chaff, you can't find the wheat chaff. These are the words of YHWH HaMashiach. That's why the bitty hens, the Tiltons, the TD Jakes can sell people lies and they buy them. They give you 3 or 4 verses and they just talk. I read from a book, damn your book unless it's this book. I didn't prepare this teaching by reading from books. I read from one book and I utilized the resources that will bring the words captive unto me. Listen to what he says. Does he says into all nations? Yes. Does he says unto all nations? Yes. Do you believe what Moshe says in Devarim? He says among all people. Yes. Can the book lie? No. Moshe did not lie, did he? No. YHWH cannot lie, did he? No. So there is no lie in the witness of these 2 verses, all right? Into all nations. And then he says, Yerushalayim shall be trodden down of the Goyim until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. What is that implying? Does it mean that the Gentiles, well, the Gentiles have always ruled. And your violent Gentile mind that negate, yeah, that's what's ruling. Our Yerushalayim is our mother from above. And so we institute our own laws and our own directives or our own ways that go against the ways of our mother from above. And so there's a rule of this violent evil mind because it's not the mind of YHWH HaMashiach. They got the mind of Jesus. They got the mind of their gods. And it's amazing that you can go to many congregants of the Baptists. They're all different. Same thing with those damnable lying devils that call themselves Hebrew Israelites. You got one on this corner that belittle that one. You got one on that corner that use the byword for that one. You got one on that corner that despise them. You tell me that's the unity of Yah, and Yah is in that mess? He's not in it. And all they got is ESAU. Well, ESAU can't do a damn thing to me. If my Yah be for me, and I know he's for me, then who can be against me? He brought them out into a land of Mizraim in bondage. Was sold by a Hebrew Israelite. That's who they were sold by. I got something coming for us, don't worry. I don't listen to these ignorant men today. I'd rather one like him on T3 Matt correct me. I don't listen to them. This did not come by some dimension of some teaching I heard some of the man. You know it's the truth because I prove all things from the book. Right? Prove to me that Brazil and nearly 40% of those that was transported during the triangular or the transatlantic, they went to Brazil. And these damn devils tell you that Haiti, the sons of Levi, every kind of damnable bogus religion, shamanism there is. He scattered them to all nations. Let me proceed. He says, and Yah, look what he says this day. Look what he says. Hallelujah. Until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. You buy that? We have the mind of the Gentiles. We don't love Yah. We don't appreciate him. There is no care. You won't know how you love Yah the way you love me. You won't know how you interact with Yah with the way you interact with me. We can interact with devils, demons, and dogs of hell, but I have no ability to interact with you, my son. Something is sick with that. You are a sick, devilish individual. You can sit down with great laughter with the devil out of hell, listen to their jokes, but you can't listen to Yah's truth. His truth will always convict. Convict us for one reason, that we may repent. Now, do you buy this, what YHWH says? Into all nations they shall be, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down. She's trodden down. I'll tell you what has trodden her down. But let me proceed a little further. Let's go back to Devarim. Deuteronomy. I want you to hear this with great clarity. Devarim 28, verse 1. Anytime you see those words, all nations, I want you to underline them, all right? You don't have to color the Torah like a coloring book. I've seen those that got every kind of color in their book, and they can't take it to one verse. It's confusing. Let's examine this in Devarim 28. This is the beginning of the curses, is it not? Yes. Yah speaks unto his nation. He says, and it shall come to pass. This is the most vital essence of what we must do. He said, you shall listen. Shema. Listen is with the comprehension, with the faithfulness of obedience and loyalty. If we will listen with a greater concern of great love, we must do diligently, with all of our efforts, with all of his truth, with a willingness that surpasses even the employing of your sadistic fleshly ways. And then that's what he tells us to do. We must listen to all kol, to the voice of YHWH. That's what the word in the Hebrew language kol means. It is the voice, the wholeness, the volume of his voice. Listen to Abba for what? To observe. To Shema, we must observe the Shabbat. We must observe and do, does he say all of? Yes. How can you say you love Yah and you don't even remember the Shabbat? People can't say they love God all they want to. I will give them a approval. Go ahead, I tell you. But I know you don't love Yah because you do not keep the commandments of Yah. Yes. And these right here are not ones that are not difficult to keep. I'm going to teach on the law of the Torah and the law of Yeshua HaMashiach. I will show us that the next time after I finish this, my Zakeh will come and then I will teach that for us. The penalties, all right? And it is, I bless y'all that Yeshua fulfill all that in his body. It's important. Yes. We're an ignorant people. Yes. And there are blind men trying to lead people and they're as stupid as they come. Yeah. And I would tell a man when he's stupid. I would tell your daughter when you're stupid. Yeah. I don't care who you are. Hallelujah. He tells us to listen diligently to the voice of God, to observe, to do all. Is that two-letter word is there? Yes, that pronoun is there, isn't it? So it still is an adjective, all right? His what? His misrule, which I command, I sava. I have the authority to tell you. I have the supervision of Yah to command you, not ask you, command you this day. That Yah your Abba will set you high. You all believe that? Above all nations of the earth. How many of you all believe that? I believe that. Hallelujah. You believe that? Come on, let me see you high. Hallelujah. All right. You believe that? Everywhere you use the word all, do you believe that? Yes. Let me see you high. Everywhere you use the word all, I got you today. Because there you are, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to us. There you are there, and there you and here I'm talking to. Yeah. I believe that he will set us high above all nations. Yes. And we should be. Yes. I am. Yeah. I don't care who it is. I got them. Yeah. That's fact. Yes. I got them. Yeah. And they will show us favor continuously. Yes. You understand? I want to read of this great agony of the one that you have the writings, TOLBIT, but Tobias is his name. In the Canaans, he was one that the whole book of TOLBIT, it is a book of earnest entreating Yah, of thanksgiving. I bless you, Yah. I bless you in the morning. I bless you in the evening. I bless you in the noontime. It was one that was greatly appreciative unto Yah for all of his magnificent acts, deeds he had done unto the nation, YisraYah'ale. There's something vitally important what he says here in TOLBIT. TOLBIT. You have that little red book that we printed. From here you have the book of TOLBIT. I will tell you chapter and verse how it began. In chapter 13, verse 1. Everything that God does is for a reason, my son. Why are we in captivity? Just because we rebel against Yah? While we're captive under our sins, our ignorance, our stupidity? Why? While we're captive in a land that is not a stranger to me, because this all I know. A land whereby we are estranged from. That Yah gave us from the great river Nile to the great Euphrates, where sons and daughters could grow and play and grow without the interference of this pagan society. You daughters wouldn't dress the way you dress. You sons wouldn't act effeminate the way you act. You understand? But it would be a robust land, a fullness of life. We would not be sick, because we will grow and eat everything. The sweat of our brow will produce everything. All of the modern technology, what has it produced? Nothing but death. All of the modern medical conveniences, what have they produced? Nothing but death, all right? Look what TOLBIT says here in TOLBIT 13:1. Then Tobias wrote a prayer of rejoicing. He wrote a prayer. He rejoiced for us to read the prayer and rejoice in the same thing. And then this is what he says. Blessed be Yah Almighty that lives forever.
Yes.
Is that what it says? You that have the content of Tobias.
Yes.
He says, and blessed be his kingdom.
Yes.
His kingdom is blessed.
Hallelujah.
You'll turn that off for a minute. Right? It's got me on fire here. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
As many as Yah loves, are you the people of Yah?
Yes.
Then he scourged us, doesn't he?
Yes.
He whipped us, right?
Yes.
Well, look at what Tobias says here in 13:2. For he does scourge out.
Yes.
I don't like no scourging. There's a comment there that something profound stands
Yes.
to indicate how he scourged us. He does scourge, then he has kindness.
Yes.
He has raham.
Yes.
He has pity and tenderness, but with kindness. He lead us down to the gates of hell. I know I've been led there.
Yes.
He allowed my own interference of his ways, my own corruption of lies and deceit, to lead me down to the gates of hell, and then he brings me up again to show me you don't want to go there, son. You don't want to go there, Imam. You don't want to go there, daughter. He leads me down to hell and he brings me up again. Neither is there any that can avoid his hand. Listen, you can't escape the hand of Yah. I don't care who you are, where you be, as they would say. No one can avoid his hand, not even the gates of hell. No one can avoid the hands of Yah. Don't ever forget that. But then he also brings a great clarity. He tells us this in verse 3. I want you to yada. He tells us confess.
Yes.
That is why. This is one of the reasons we have been scattered. We're going to confess because we've all done nothing but denied him. And confess is not just some words out of your mouth. Confession is not that. It is a methodology that you deny everything about you. You declare with an open testimony that he is great. That's not a confession. In every metroplex, on every corner, calling the women everything there is, especially the ones that are dark like you. That's not a confession. It doesn't speak of the greatness of the Most High when you tell them that you're that way, you're on the drugs. But that's not what the book tells me. He says, confess him. You'll wake up. Hear me please today. Does it say confess him?
Yes.
Before who? Say love.
Gentile.
Before who?
The Gentile.
Before the nations. Your life, your attitude, your ruach will confess the power of him, your riches and the abundance. That's a confession.
Yes.
Confess him before the Gentile. Who? You children of YisraYah'ale.
Yes.
Now don't forget, he scattered us into all nations.
Yes.
All nations. That we may confess his power. And a damnable fool doesn't know how to.
Yeah.
I don't have to condemn no damn one.
Yeah.
How can you say that I'm high above someone and you're doing the same thing the Gentiles doing? You land with every woman, you're getting drunk, you're drinking wine and liquor every day, you're smoking weed, you're nothing but a damn dog.
Yeah.
You're ignorant.
Yes.
Where's your light?
Yes.
Where's your oil?
Yeah.
Where's the rejoicing in Torah? When a man has the ma'o of Yah, there's a light that makes him rejoice. You don't have that. Let me go further, okay?
Yes.
He says, confess him before the Gentiles, you children of YisraYah'ale. There's a colon there.
Yeah.
Wake up. That gives us a profound statement. For he has scattered you among them. Does it say that?
Yes.
Does it say that God has scattered us among the nations of people? He scattered us among all nations.
Hallelujah.
And they're integrated in all nations. They married the women of those nations. They produce sons and daughters. These stupid jackasses, wild asses, they only know what they have been deceived by. And they buy because they're stupid. And they continue to purport their stupidity by talking to stupid people. They won't talk to me because I will break it down. And so they consider you as to be ignorant. Let me go further, all right? Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Verse 4. Then declare his greatness and extol him before, does it say some of the living or all the living? All the living. Listen, you all, if you get sleepy, just stand out and do that. I don't want you all going to sleep on you, all right?
No.
Yes, sir.
Stand up, refresh yourself. It's all right. I'm not offended at that. But listen. For he is our great Abba. He is our Yah.
Yes.
And he is the Almighty forever.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question, if Tobias is right. And he will scourge us for our iniquity, for our OV, for violent evil ways, for our sadistic mannerism. He's going to scourge us because we have trodden down his righteousness. You have trodden down his Torah. He will scourge us for our iniquity and will have kindness. I like that part. Again. Work me, not whip me, but whoop me. But yet I know you're going to show me kindness.
Hallelujah.
This is what he says. I want everyone to hear this. I want you to read it. I want you to hear it. And Yah says, I will gather you out of a few nations, some of the nations. I will gather you out of all. All. So if he sets us high above all nations, you believe that? They're Hebrews that love that. And they are lower than the lowest of that nation. They're beggars. I watch all the islands in the Caribbean around us. I watch how there is no dedication to one another, even in the islands. And they come to America because they're greedy. And they say it's a better way of life. And that's just a fact. And yet you got the sons of ESAU that run this nation, as many of you believe. And yet they have shown your grandmother a sense of kindness. I will show us how they do that. They allowed your mother, your father to come. They couldn't make in a day, in a week, but they make in a day in this country. They can send money back and help. I don't care where they come from. Even ESAU, as you call them, even they have a sense of guilt. You don't even have a sense of guilt among your own. You will call them one of the most violent epithets. You will call them the N-word. You will call your women, the women that birth your bastard children, because you're not married to them. You will call them and associate them with the violence of a dog. And you tell me that's a strong individual? They're not strong. They've allowed those to come from every shore. And I will say this emphatically, damn America. Your house is coming down.
Yes.
Nobody's beating their door to go to Trinidad, Jamaica, Bahamas, Haiti. They're not beating down the ocean to get there. And that's a fact. Yah calls a people that were brought on the ship here. They were the ones that are the most destitute. They were the ones that were in the least of health, because when they took them off those ships, they wanted the strongest and the most bountiful ones in the Brazils, in the cane fields, in the cotton fields, in the tobacco fields. And that's just a fact.
Yes.
I'll cover all that in later teachings. Look what it says. He will scourge us. He's going to gather us out of all nations among whom he has scattered us. Are we in all nations?
Yes.
We're not just in the Americas. You have no identity with those down south in America, like Brazil. Oh, they will identify Argentina, but they won't identify Brazil. They'll identify Puerto Rico when the Spaniards take those daughters, young women, they put babies in them, and that's why you have them a lot of color. I said to one the other night, look at him and look at him. They both, look how red he is, and look how red. These are stupid individuals. And Puerto Ricans cannot. Color don't take a time. Period. Oh, it's not about color, you liars. It is.
Yes.
That's why you ask, who is your daddy? You never ask who is your grandfather, his father, and your great-grandpappy, his father, and his great-great-grandpappy, whose father is that. This is how stupid people are. And the Spaniards in Argentina and Brazil and all over, here in Honduras, would take the women and take advantage of them and put babies in them. How do you not know, you that are from Trinidad or Tobago, Jamaica, from America, that your life began in the offspring of the master, sail upon the baby in your mama, your great-great-great-great-grandmama, and you came out of that seed, you boastful child of hell, you're a dog. You're an ignorant fool.
Yes.
I said to one the other day, the best we can do when it comes to DNA, they can go back 4 or 5 generations at best. They show you your chromosome attachment to member. I listened to this most popular site. It is called For the African Americans. And one says, what is the percentage that you're accurate on where they came or the origin of the people? She said, it's only about 5%, usually 2% at best. And you charge them such enormous amount of money. You know what his reply was? He said, well, 2% is better than nothing at all. I'm 100% where I came from.
Yeah.
I was birthed through the loins and the bottom of YHWH. I came forth from him.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But Yah says he has scattered them. He's going to bring them back out of some nations.
Oh.
Just the Americas.
Oh.
Just Trinidad.
Oh.
Just Jamaica.
Oh.
Just Barbados.
Oh.
All nations. All nations. Every nation, every climate, every people.
Yes.
But approve it. I can't get it all done today. This is part 1 of part 2. Is that all right?
Yes.
Is that all right, soul?
Yes.
All right. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
This is where he has scattered us. And our job is to have a confession. Homologe. Homologe. That our lives represent that we are a people. Not that we're high-minded, that our attitude is different. Our disposition is different.
Yes.
The way we look is different. When you want to look like every kind of jackass there is, nobody in Trinidad, Tobago aspired to be like someone from Jamaica. You want to be like an American boy.
True.
That's just the fact of the matter. Nobody from Africa want to be like one in Nigeria. You want to be like a boy from America.
True.
That's what they call swag.
True.
Turn that on for her. That's what they want to be like. Nobody wants to be like a Hawaiian. Nobody wants to be like a Chinese man. You ought to see these Chinese boys today. You talking about swagging and jagging? They got it from nowhere. I don't clothe him that because of stupidity.
True.
But there's no nation of people. When they see the men that were birthed out of this corrupt nation, want to be like them. That's just a fact. I don't care if they're from France, from Germany. I don't care if they're Russians.
Yes.
I said to one, after World War I, II, there were many people of who moved to Russia. I asked one, you know what Pushkin Square is? I knew the person didn't know. I do. You may have heard of, but I've read up on Pushkin Square who Pushkin was. Alexander Pushkin. There's this place that's out of him. He was as black. I've seen his pictures. He was as dark as this man, yeah. And there were those that went into the Russian environment. Because Lenin, they welcomed them to come. And there were a lot of people, you'd be surprised, that went to Russia. They integrated themselves into that society. They took on Russian wives. They made babies. And baby after baby. And those babies made babies. And those dark-skinned boys and blacker than him, they took on wives that were. Why did that work? And their sons married wives that were whiter than white. And their sons married wives that were whiter than white. How do you know? Is the Hebrew identity laws there in the complexion of one's skin? This is the stupidity of these fools today. If it's the progeneration is by the zero, the seed of the father, so how are you going to identify one? Because his cheeks are rosy? You are stupid.
Yes.
Jackass of a fool. And I'm talking to you and any of you all in here. Fact of the matter. Let me go further though. Let me look at this because this is important here. In Dibarim, I want to get to something that's going to blow our minds, all right? It was important what I read in Tobias. But let's go to Gideon now, Revelation. Let's go there. Let's see what the book says, all right?
Yes.
Be it all these are Hebrew, not be it. They all the elect Zerah of YisraYah'ale. They have been dispersed. They have been put. They have been scattered into all parts of the earth. They're from one complexion to the extreme to the other.
Yes.
There's no difference between his complexion and his. The only thing, their hair is different. Only a jackass cannot recognize that. A foolish man. Your Hebrews come get me. Bring you big boys. They are big. I know I'm fat, but they are fat. They're fat hogs. Hog guts. They couldn't bend down and work with me for a day. I'll break them all down. Listen to this in Revelation, Gideon, chapter 7, verse 9. As the 144,000 being sealed, that's a dynamic teaching. I teach on that in a singular teaching, all right? Everybody knows what it means, but they don't know.
Yeah.
It says in here, Yochanan says, he said, I saw something that was amazing, verse 9. And I beheld, and lo, he used the term, must emphasize the Greek. He used the words, polos. Polos. I saw a great. Instead of rabbi in our Hebrew language, or instead of great or many, he used the words polos. I saw a multitude that was great, without volume, without magnitude. Not just a smaller crowd.
Right.
But I saw something that was exponentially beyond numeric terminology. I'll prove it. He said, I saw a multitude, a collection of people. That is what ochlos is. It is a collection of people. It is a collection of people. We are a collection of people here today, but a people. But all of us look different in every regard, in every respect. From one skin hue of color to the extreme, from the darkest to the lightest. You understand?
Yes.
See, a fool will never examine what the book says. One talks from ignorance. I don't talk from ignorance. That's why I will back a fool down. I don't care who you are. I will back an unlearned, ignorant man down. I will. You're going to destroy me or I'm going to destroy you. I don't play. I don't play. Look what he says now. He says that I saw a upload. Is there's a comma behind the word multitude?
Yeah.
Does it say which no man?
Yeah.
Does it say which no man?
Yeah.
Does it say which no man could number? Arithmeo. Arithmeo. Now I want to define arithmeo. It is you cannot fix a defined number on them. I can fix a defined number on the people in America. I may be off a million or so, but I know how many here. I can put a fixed number on the people of Trinidad or Tobago. I can put a fixed number of those that are in Cuba or there in Honduras. I can put a fixed number of those that are in Barbados. I can put a fixed number of the ones that are in the Bahamas. I can put a fixed number on those that are in Argentina. I can put a fixed number on the nation of the people of this hemisphere. I can put a fixed number. You can put a fixed number on Mexico. You can put a fixed number on the whole state of the United States. You may be off on them. You can put a fixed number. It is the truth. He said, but the number was so enormous. Y'all promised Abraham there were 4 million that came. Let's just say 4 million. It was 4 million that came out of Mizraim, wasn't it? He's going to multiply that by 1,000. What is that? That's 4 billion, isn't it? This is an ignorant generation. Where are they? How do you identify them? How do you know them? You will know the fruit tree because the fragrance is beautiful.
Yeah.
It smells wonderful. You can eat the fruit of that fruit tree because it tastes beautiful. It's sweet. It's pleasant to the belly. But a fool you cannot eat off of that tree. An ignorant man has a difference than a stupid man. I know I'm ignorant in many applications of life. But a fool. Can I go farther?
Yeah.
See. He says a number arithmeo. He said, of how many nations? Does it say of what?
Oh.
Of how many nations?
Oh.
Of how many nations?
Oh.
Of all nations. Of all ethnos. And ethnos is races of people, population of people, people group. You find groups where there is what they call, there's a word that is called balkanizing. And balkanization is those that are the same pedigree, the same what they call culture, they stay together, they don't let nobody in there. A city like New York, within a 5 square mile of that city, you got 750 nationalities or 50 nations of people. So you're going to tell me how many nations, what they said nations, how many people that have come out of a people. The sons of Ishmael, the Hebrews. The sons of ESAU, they're Hebrews. Their fathers were Hebrews. The father was a Hebrew. And they're stupid. And stupid people about that. No. If ESAU seed is white people, the Hebrew white people. Stupidity of their damnable. Only a stupid individual will hold on to a lot like that. You know they have no knowledge of Torah. They have no gravity of sense. And don't let nobody talk that word to you. And you hear you're not going to talk it here.
Yeah.
Prove it. Show me that Yehuda is America. Prove it. Isn't that what all the Hebrews say? Prove it.
Yeah.
Prove it. Prove it. You can't prove one damn thing. This superficial chart that ignorant men put together could not hardly read or write. Not just a fact. You're not up on the General Yochanan. You're lost. Damn General Yochanan and any of the rest of them. I'm under the mandate of Yeshua HaMashiach. He's under his Christ. I'm under the mandate of Yeshua HaMashiach. That's my commander. And he's not a big belly man. I'm not. He doesn't have a gut like me. He didn't have one.
Hallelujah.
You know I love this man. Can I tell you a story? I'm going to finish. I was going down to Chesterfield yesterday, and I had my radio station on 98 point. WVOY, Word Voice of Yah. And I began to listen to that young preacher. And I said, I wish I could talk like that again. I was amazed at his grammar and the way his audition before the people of Yah. Then I said, as I lost all of that in my mind, these are the words that came out of my mouth. I said, yeah, I could teach that young brother a lot. He don't. And I didn't realize it was me. As I could teach him, he needs to be taught. There's some things I could teach him a lot, yeah. And I could. I'm more older, I'm more seasoned. As I sure could teach him a lot. And I kind of lost interest in what he was saying. But I didn't listen to him. You understand? Because I said, I can teach him. I said, yeah, I can teach that young man. He's a beautiful young man, but I can teach him. I lost all perspective as to what I was saying. I don't gloat in nothing that I get up and say, because it's not mine. It all belongs to Yah, all right? He says, all kindred, all people, not some, all people of all nations, and not only that, ethnos, he calls them, there's a comma, and kindreds, fully. He's talking about race of people and nations of people. And he used the word and lahosa. This is all three. Lahosa, people, tribes, nations. And he says, and tongue. Gluash. Glow. The tongue glows, doesn't it? It makes you glow, it makes you speak with volume. I saw them, they had all kinds of tongue. It was a tongue, or gluash is a tongue that is particular to a people that is distinctive than other people. So those, most of those in the Americas, they either speak English or Spanish. But Yah says all kinds of tongues, and they are all, and tongues, gluash. They spoke all kinds of tongues. They didn't speak dialects. They spoke languages. They spoke languages. They spoke languages. It was not some broken Creole, some language. They spoke a distinctive language. They heard them all in their tongues, Parthians and Medes, Middle Mesopotamia, and the language they heard the tongue of Yeshua HaMashiach. Yes. You go down to Spanish, you know, go and speak Spanish. You speak to all Mexico, that they identify as Hebrews. You can speak to all the Indians in English. Some of them have tribal dialects. You can go down to Argentina and do the same. You can go to Honduras and do the same. You can go to Cuba and do the same. You can go to Puerto Rico and do the same. You can go to the islands and just learn that talk the way they talk. The broken gurri, it's a gurra language because many of the islands talk from their throats. They don't talk from their diaphragms. And so they short or flat out the word. They do not take advantage of the tongue and speak from there. So I can go anywhere. I can go and talk this talk and learn all the Spanish. He said, he used the word tongues. Tongues. People distinguished of other nations. So there's only two nations in essence. The English. No people out of the country of Africa. They don't speak. And every nation that they speak a different language. And then their dialects. Language that was produced because it was difficult for people to understand the most what they call sophisticated language. He says multiples of tongues. So we look at that from just America, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Argentina, Mexico. You can speak English or you can speak Spanish and talk to all of them. That's a lie. That's a damnable lie. It's an evil, wicked lie. It's a violent life from hell. It's a sadistic, and any one of you fools that are taking about that, you're a fool. Come and fight me. That's what you do. But when you come, make sure you come into work for a day or two. Then we fight afterwards, all right? I'll feed you well. You don't have to worry about that. We extremely well here. He said, I saw them stood before the throne, the Captivity, and before the Lamb. And they were clothed with white robes, palms in their hand. Well, that's the Hebrew Israelite. I buy that. But where are they?
Yes.
They're from every nation. They speak Russian. They speak Chinese. They speak one of the 17 major languages of India. This is a stupid, dumb, ignorant generation in America. And they think that they are they would tell you, look, it's sad you see these little cats on the street. They call themselves prophets. Prophets. They are prophets. But they are not no be of Yah. They call themselves apostles, but they're not. YHWH. They're not. And what they're uttering, it is so stupid. It is a memorizing of certain verses, and they utter them with everyone. It's not a lifestyle. They dress in their garbs and their garments. That means nothing. That has no impact at all, period. We must be dressed in the Sadiq, the righteousness of Yahweh. That's how we dress. What I have given us here in this first appendix, this first application that deals with the nation, all nations, who they are, where they are, I'm giving us 10 profound verses. And 10 is the number of testimony. See, Yah is saying to us, my testimony is true. My edus. Don't let nobody rob you of that testimony. And the testimony of Yah is the power of Yeshua HaMashiach, the revelation of the uncovering, the uncovering of Captivity Scripture.
Hallelujah.
I want that one appendix. That one appendix that's dealing with our Abba, while we are in captivity, the reason why, where they are, they're not just in America. They're not just in Jamaica. They're not just in Trinidad. Very few in America. Very few in Trinidad. Very few in other parts. But in the fewness of what Yah, He has a collective collection of a beautiful diadem, a crown of His honor, of His elect, His people.
Yes.
And that's just a fact.
Hallelujah.
It gives us the inspired, the number 10, gives us our responsibility. And everything that I've read has been inspired by Torah, hasn't it? Yes. Is not Yeshua the power, the fulfillment of Torah?
Yes.
You better cast down the old dirty ways of yours and that old stupid logic. It's stupid. You haven't grown from that. You're still dumb, you still act childish, and you still will act with immaturity. You don't see no power in your life. Nobody recognizes you when you go, I don't care how smooth you walk. It's just a fact.
Yes.
We'll deal with another application. It is the Brits, the covenant of Yah, and YHWH HaMashiach. I want to deal with that. All right?
Yes.
Where are His people? Yes, in the Americas. He scattered His people. The triangular Atlantic. It went north. It went west. It went east. And they sold the people. What about the Arabic, what we call the slave trade? Where did they sell them to? Where are those people? You wild jackass of a fool of a beast. Did they sell some in Northern Africa? In Libya? They sell them in Egypt? Did everyone that Yah commanded to leave Egypt left? That were Hebrew Israelites? Or did they stay and become part of that culture? This is a stupid generation. They never explain that because no one knows how No one knows how to challenge him in that way. Because you have people that don't study the Torah. And when I say that, anytime a man, Yah has elevated him to a position that he instructs his people, he has a plethora of knowledge. Everybody's not elevated to do that. What you study, what I show you, I prove whether I'm right or wrong. The only thing you're going to do is read the book. But if you go back and study, you have a platform to study from. And then from that platform, it will add to that in your studying. You will learn other things. You try to read and say you're studying, you're not doing anything. I was talking and one said that they had a cue card that would explain things to me and couldn't even find it. And I said to the person, well, the next time we talk, you have it. They have to find it. You got to find your cue card. All I do is open the book. Yeah. If anybody around me have seen me do it too many times. Yeah. Let's go in the book. You have no ability to retain. You don't know what you're saying. Yeah. You might as well say, I'm a foolish man. Y'all help me to stop. Yeah. I say it to myself all the time. Yeah. Stupid individual. Right. Your arrogance and full of pride, you're going to die that way. We all need death. You're going to die that way. You're going to die a fool. Yeah. That's a fact. Fool says in his heart, no. I know it. You don't know anything. You've learned from other fools. I want you to fight me. And I still throw a mean jab. I can still lay it down. Come on. Let's move here. I'm going to show us something. Now all of that I'm dealing with just one word, all, a nation. I'm dealing with an adjective and a noun. You all about that? Yeah. Is it all synchronized? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Let's go to Devarim. Deuteronomy. Hallelujah. Deuteronomy chapter 26, verse 17. This is the covenant with Yah and his people. All right? Yeah. This is the covenant that he will perform. He says in Devarim 26, 17. Yah says, you have a vouch, you have a mar. And I said, you have spoken from your mouth. You have said this because it is in one's heart. Yahweh this day to be your sovereign master. You have no one but him. You put nothing, no one over him. And you implicate this by your confession is this, that you're going to walk in his ways. That's how you know that you have avowed, you have confessed. You're going to walk in his ways. You're going to keep the statutes of Yah. You're going to keep the mitzvot, the commandments. And you're going to love his judgment. You're going to keep his mishpatim. And you're going to listen to his call. You're going to listen to his voice. See, there's a call in there, isn't it? Yes. Yah said that's enough to keep you busy for a while. I got more to tell you. Now look what he utters in verse 18. And Yah has caused you this day. When you do that, he says that we hear continuously that you shall be a segula, a very valuable, precious treasure to him. And Yah has caused you this day to be a peculiar people. How many of y'all believe that? If we do just what he says, you bought that, right? I want you to make sure you buy it. Because there's more to this, all right? And he has promised you, and that he should, and that you should keep all, is that word all there? Yeah. Do you keep all of the mitzvot of Yah? We keep all of them, right? He said you keep all his mitzvot. Verse 19. And he shall make you high. You know what that word Allah means? He shall make you superior. Those Hebrews on every corner, they should have the mandate of industry in those cities. They should own houses, city blocks, employing Hebrews, giving them jobs. They're nothing but, they're no different than TDJs. They're no different than Benny Hinn. Leaders, very few of the leaders I've seen that did not have a gut like a hog. They're fat, they're lazy, and I repent not of that. Come on, Hebrew Israelites, attack this man. And these are the leaders. and they're out. And Yah says you're peculiar. They shall own the cities of New York. Those that they call Jews own them. Those that are strangers of the land, they call themselves Chinese, they own it. Those that are the islands in the little balkanized areas, they have boat houses, they're still renting, got their little few stores, and that's it. And they're the Hebrew Israelites. They should have the industries in their communities. They should own every grocery store. I would. If I had 1,000 people listening to me, we will own everything. We will own everything. We will have our own electrical companies. We will have all our builders. We will have all of our IT professionals. We will own everything. We will build furniture. We will have a studious young man. The ability, I will train them. Take off that mess. Don't look like a jackass, a wild ass. I will train them and teach them. You can command the attention of the wealthy, and they will just say, damn, look at that boy.
Yes.
I know he ain't got what I got, but boy, I tell you, I trust him. Yes, sir. That's how stupid you is.
Yes.
And the Hebrew is right. It doesn't mean a damn thing. They should command the cities, the Philadelphias. That's what they all are on the Baltimore, Marylands, the New York Cities, the Harlems, the Bronx. It's a sad shame, isn't it?
Yes.
The Charlotte, North Carolina is where they're growing exponentially. Atlanta, they own nothing. Many of them living in government subsidized houses with their mama. We then show one of the first thing I was doing. Oh, we would have, boy, can you imagine we had all them buildings now? We'd be worth $25 million. That's what it would be worth. And we could have got them for nothing, but people are stupid. They're greedy and they're selfish. Do you understand? They think having a car, 7 years, not 7, 7 years to pay for it, and a shack. We would own everything.
Yeah.
We would have bought all. Can you imagine what those? I said to my email the other day, we traveled to, I said, the white boy, I bought that house from him. He said, don't sell this house. I said, why? He said, look up there. You see that building up there? They're going to want it one day. He don't sell it. And I sold it. And I said to him, look at that. Those are Caucasians there. State Street. No white boy will walk down that street. Now the white women run up and down the street. My earshot, I went and looked at a building right there behind Bojangles. It makes me sick to my stomach when I see that building now. But people don't have the sense because they have no vision. If I had 1,000 people with me, these Hebrew camps, there are thousands. They could buy up a city.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. My job coming here was to buy Jefferson. We would have owned every building. We were taking that old bank downtown. I was going to make a hotel out of that. That's just for the people to come. Free meals. No, we're not going to serve you meals of that. You come down and eat with us to enjoy the life. And yet they live in utter poverty in the cities like New York. Rat holes. They live in rat holes in Baltimore. And they should own everything, and we would have owned everything. That's a fact.
True.
The people were just like you because you don't care. Hallelujah. Listen to this. And I will make you high, Devarim 26:9, high above all nations, which Yah has made in praises. See, we should be a people, not if we're the true Hebrew Israelites. This is what Yah said he would do. Even those that are following the commands of Yah. You go to the city, all the Hebrew Israelites in the congregations or the camps, they're following the truth. And yet they live just as segregated and balkanized as the white ESAU man, they call him. They live no different. They can buy one building in any of those cities and create an entity. They're renting, and if they're buying something, it's a little building, they're buying for to have what they call their camp meetings. They should own thousands of acres of land. I've heard one say we spent $1 million on Pesach. I would have taken that same million. I would have bought 1,000 acres of land somewhere in the south. I would tell everybody, come on down. We just going to roast whole cows. Don't come down with your Philly fly mess on. Bring your tent. We're going to roast cows and lambs. We're going to eat off of that in fellowship. And when we can't do more, we go back home. And then I'm going to establish something here. We're going to create enterprise here. If there's nothing but raising cows, growing wheat, we're going to do that. And we're going to grow the best of beef. We're going to have the best of cows. We're going to try to get chicken barns and turkey barns. We're going to raise that to sell nothing but the Hebrew Israelites. They ain't going to do that. Because the fat leaders are too lazy. It's not a hard thing to get on the corner of Shabbat and raise hell with everyone. That's a fact. I would. If I had $1 million for us, mine. My prayer, y'all send the 100,000 mine. I know what I can do with 10,000. I know what I've done with 25,000. I know. Mine. Listen to what he says. You shall be above all nations. Does it say all? Hebrews 26:19. A-L-L, right? All nations. Which Yah has made. Did he make all nations? He made all. There's a comma there, right? Here's a clause here. He's going to show us what we're going to be above all nations in praise. People will laud us and praise us because we will confess him and praise him. Show me where they're doing that. Many of these places called they're camp, they don't even sing in them. They don't even sing in them. They don't even come with their hands and lift up their hands in Yah's his Kadosh place. They come set. They don't come and praise him. They don't even pray. He says in praise, not only in praise, but not only in his name, but in your name. You understand that? I don't care what you say. We don't have nothing. But when that man came to inspect our school, he saw that name out there. And the name these people here more than, I tell you what, I've been to a lot of places, got more money than they. But they got something special, I guarantee you. He told others. Because the first one I met a few years ago, he said, I don't need to see your records. That's a bad boy. I'm out here working hard. And he said, I don't need to see your records. There had to be something about me that was pulsating and powerful. It was an integrity of honest and truth. He had to discern something. He said, I don't need to see it. I compel her. No, go get them. I want you to see it. He didn't look at them 30 seconds. Okay, that's fine. Show him that your integrity or your perception of me, I have the same with you. I want you to see it. We have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
I want you to see it.
Yeah.
Where's the Hebrew school? I'm talking about the people, they're, quote, religious groups, unquote. They're 501c groups. We're not. You don't have to do that in the state of South Carolina. You don't have to do that in the state of South Carolina. I don't care what the government says. One writes, you all do the wonderful job, but it's too bad the government knows where I want the government to know where I'm at. I don't fear Mr. Trump. I didn't fear Mr. Obama. I don't fear the Republicans. I don't fear one damn Democrat or independent. I fear him.
Yeah.
Y'all be for me. You think a Republican? He gives us favor with every man.
Yeah.
He'll make men give unto our bosom. You make them give. Their guilt complex will say, boys, I'll tell you what, I know how to farm. I've been doing this for 47 years. That's how they tell me. I've been doing this for 47 years. I can help you now. No, you're Esau, but you rent from Esau. You give all your money to Esau. You don't know how stupid you are. You trust Esau more than you trust a brother. Because your money's in Esau's bank, isn't it?
True.
That's stupid. If that ain't a stupid, I would just take mine out and just put it in my own shoebox. Yeah, I'm dad, I don't need that. Yet you go through Esau for everything. Why? Because of the curse. I'm not cursed. I have the richness of Yah's blessings instead of kindness. I'm rich with plenty. I got plenty of food to eat today.
Hallelujah.
I got a warm house. You
Hallelujah.
got to get it warm because I didn't make a fire yesterday, last night. I can kick up my foots and get warm.
Hallelujah.
We don't know about nothing here. We don't know about anything on this land. We don't know about for a house, buildings paid for, everything. You Hebrew Israelite, can I ask you something? Those in Israel, did they own Goshen? When they left, did they come away with everything? Did the Egyptians give unto them? And you're not leaving New York and the landlord is giving you $1 million. You're not coming out of BMO, Philly, City, Butler, Chi-Town, Chicago. They're broke, they're disgusted. And those that call themselves leaders, they take the people from no elevation at all. I'm an uneducated, ignorant man, but I know how to hear the call of Yahweh's voice. Everything he speaks in the book, I buy it. I buy it, and I don't sell it, and I hide it in my heart. It is the power of that manifests. It is the power of that works. Can you imagine people in cities like that, 10 of them paying $1,000 a month rent? That's 10 grand, isn't it? I would think that I would say, no, we can be homeless for 6 months. We're going to take all them 10 grand and we're going to buy this building here. I know it's burnt down. We're going to buy this house. This is how stupid they is. It works everywhere. I ain't taking nothing. Now, you don't like me, that's all right. But if you come and visit me, we'll cook a lamb for you. We have lamb's meat. We have wonderful stuff. We got to butcher one of these cows out here. No doubt about it. I'd rather cook them. See, we haven't butchered the cow. We're going to butcher one. I mean that. All that beef, you can't eat any finer beef. Kobe beef is not fine as ours. That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact. Fact. That's a fact. Preceding of the Father. Now, he's going to set us above all nations, that you may be in name and in beauty. Now, you know what that tifra is, that you're beautiful. Your daughters, your parents is beautiful. You don't have to change one damn thing and look false and fake. Fake mess on you, in your head. You don't have to do that. Your beauty is your submission to Yah. Your praises.
Yes.
Not your fake nails and all that mess. These little young girls, especially about you, they're getting fake buttocks and fake titties, and it's killing them. They're dying with infections and all of that. You don't have to do that. Your beauty is not the beauty of something that is not real, something that is fake. Your beauty is something that is real. You're real. If you're real with God, you're beautiful.
Hallelujah.
Look, for what reason? That you may be kadosh people to Yah, your bar, as he has spoken. He wants us to be set apart and to be beautiful. That is our beauty, being set apart. You don't look like everyone else. You don't dress like that. Well, that's why the Hebrews dress the way they dress. No, I got on my mammy-made suit and I'm dressed, all right? Hallelujah. I don't need no big old star around my neck. That's, to me, is showing up gangster. That's gangster there. You got all this stuff on your arm, plastering. That's showing up gangster. You giving all your signs to each other. You got your big... That's gangster there. You'll speak that sign language. Keep doing it. Zacchaeus was telling me, I said, you know, talking about how that you all learn sign language. You continue to teach it, my friend. Anything you need, you know, I'm here. I stand with you. And Zacchaeus bit at me and said, it's already been done. I said, what? He said, I knew it was in the store down there. And fella could, you know, someone was deaf and Abner kicked right in on it.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I watched the little daughters, they told me, Papa, who you think can win, the girls or the boys? They said, Abner's, he's bona fide. There will be trouble with him. They say, oh yeah, always, oh yeah, he's bad to the ball. But we'll beat them. The other ones have come up to his state. So we girls, we will whip them. We beat them, Poppy. I still give the edge to them. They got together, the warrior.
Yeah.
All right?
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. It ain't no sign language either. I want to read something very vital and important.
Yes.
This is going to be a two-part teaching. I want you to see something. You know, because you see those that identify with the Hebrew Israelites on the corners, they ridicule everyone from a Chinese, Japanese. We talk about all nations, right?
Yes.
I want to read you something. And if I'm wrong, if this and all the Hebrew Israelites use the book of Baruch, this between a student and one that knows that he is a student because he searched the book. I want us to find 2nd Baruch. You're in your homes, you don't have it. You can go online and still listen and find the book of 2nd Baruch. Baruch. You're going to destroy you China people. Hell, the China folks ain't done the Hebrew Israelites no wrong. This is how stupid this is. Will you believe this if I read it, son?
Yes.
Can I read it? Will you believe it?
Yeah.
Will you all believe? You don't listen when you believe it. I believe it.
Yeah.
This is the writing of Baruch. 2nd Baruch. 2nd Baruch chapter 72. Can I begin in verse 1, son?
Yes.
The nations that have not done YisraYah'ale wrong. Period. The nations, let Baruch speak here in 2nd Baruch chapter 72 verse 1. This is a profound here. He says, now let us hear also about the bright waters, the ore. And the bright waters, there's a prophecy. I don't know if I'll get to that today. But I will show you that prophecy and what this prophecy or this revelation, how it reveals the power of YHWH him. He is the bright water. I will show you what the bright waters which come at the end of these dark black waters. Does it, what is the last sentence there? It says what?
This is the word.
Say now.
This is the word.
This is the Daba. This is the Dabarim. This is the publisher. This is the word. Now, this right here is just a teaching in itself, profoundly. Now hold that. Don't just hold that, all right?
Yeah.
Turn quickly because we're going back to 2nd Baruch. I want to go to give y'all now Revelation. He used the word bright here, or doesn't he?
Yeah.
Let's go to Revelation 22:16. This is the time of the end, isn't it?
Yeah.
Revelation 22:16. It says in Gilead now 22:16. It says, I, YHWH, I have sent my melech, my messengers,
Yeah.
to testify to you these things in the congregation.
Yeah.
He identifies himself clearly.
Yeah.
He said, I am. Who should I tell them who you are? Yeah, tell them I am. YHWH said, I am the roots and the beginning.
Yes.
I am what spring for. I am the root and the offspring of thy wheat.
Yeah.
He said, don't get weary the dark waters you're in, under those dark clouds. He says, and I am also the bright.
Yes.
He also says, I am the bright.
Yes.
I am the bright. But there's something profound to this. I'll teach it in y'all's time.
Yeah.
He said, I am the bright and the morning star. And when the bright waters, I'll prove this is YHWH as I read from them, that we're in a blackened time of the Torah called Hoshach, time of darkness. We can't see no righteousness. We can't see the beauty of each other. We can't see how I can love you. You can love me. How I can call you son. Because of the darkness, the hushach. You can't see the beauty of the sister because of your own darkened heart and your own darkened ways. You will never see that unto the bright waters. I don't want to bathe in no black waters or no dirty waters. I don't want to see the water brown when I take a shower. I want to see it crystal clear, all right? And that's what this bright water that Baruch is talking about. It is what? Can I tell you what the right water is? The Maya. It is the light of Yah's instruction. What is Yah's instruction? It is His Musa. It is His counsel of correction, of rebuking you, correcting you, and showing you your little boy. Look up. This is what He saw. Back to 2 Baruch 72, verse 2. Baruch says, and after these signs, verse 2, have come, of which I have spoken to you before. See, you've heard these things, not in this application, but you heard everything I've said before. The words are different, but the application is the same. It is Him. It is His nation. And they are in every nation. All the nations. Under the darkness of every kind of skin covering. And you stupid jackass think you're going to identify him by asking, who's your father? Well, my father is from Nigeria, man. This ain't for you. You're dog. What do you mean, man? I'm an Ethiopian, man. My daddy, my father. And the one that's telling you that, he doesn't know who his father. Probably doesn't even really truly understand who his father is. Certainly probably doesn't know his grandfather. And that third great grandfather, he doesn't know him no more than a cat knows what the moon is. That's fact. This is a generation and those that are on every corner. Very few of them have had any kind of inner perspective with fathers. They don't even know fathers. Never met a father. Never met a father. There's a between a father and a daddy, a sire. They take these big bulls. That big bull out there, he's old now. But that big bull in his day, he could have made a lot of big babies. He makes some pretty babies. We got a bull that he's still strong as a bull. He makes babies. He makes strong, healthy babies. He makes some bad babies. I don't think I would butcher him. I let him live out his days. I like that boy. And he walks with a scroll that, you hear him come. That's how he walks. He's bad. He's a bad boy. He's bad to the bone. Thus says, after the signs which have come to you, which I have spoken to you before. He talks about the nations. When the nations are moved. Is Yah going to move the nations? Yeah. He's going to move the nations. There are thousands of people of nations in this country. He said, when the nations are moved, and he says, at the time of my anointed one comes. Who's the anointed one? What is the brightness of his YHWH? He said, I'm the bright. When he says in Juliana, don't worry, Yakananda, I'm the one that brings light. Yeah. I come through all of your trials and your sarah in the morning, because I will shine in the morning time through your darkness of night. The old dark waters are going to pass. But I'm the only thing that will bring brightness to your life. Yeah. My instructions bring life and brightness. Look what he says. When he comes, the one that is appointed, you'll have that. It says he will call how many nations? All. All nations. All nations. Listen. Who has that? Who has Zakein Yaraviyastena? He will call how many nations?
All nations.
All right, go back to when the anointed one comes, read slowly. It says what? After the word comes.
He will call.
No, that's too fast. I like to eat. I like a nice sweet potato, piece of sweet potato pie. I don't like to gorge my food. I like to eat it slowly. Hey, yesterday When I got back, it was dinner time, but I said, nah, that food's smelling too well and I'm eating now. And I just sit there and eat. And when the gut gets full, I slide it over. And I said, boy, you're full. And I just wait a while and I take a spoonful at a time. And, oh, I'm going to eat it all. I'm not throwing away nothing. I'm going to take a spoon at a time and I'm going to eat. And when the old gut gets so full it can't move, I just slide it over that way. And although it's cold, it is still the same. Now we know that when this anointed one come, what is that word after that?
He.
Speak and lo!
He.
He. Who is that anointed one? It certainly isn't me.
Yeah.
And it sure enough not you. And it ain't not you. And it ain't sure enough not you. He talks about the anointed one when he will what?
Call.
Call what?
All.
How many?
All.
How many?
All.
How many?
All.
How many?
All.
Oh, what?
Nations.
Does that exclude any nation?
No.
Do you all get that?
Yes.
Do you all get that? He's going to call all nations. Does it say that?
Yes.
I don't want to go any further until I have a certainty. He's going to call some of the nations.
Oh.
99.9% of them.
Oh.
He's going to call all nations. What is the next word that conjunction, man?
And.
Stop sucking in you, man.
And.
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 And what?
Some.
Some. How many nations he calling?
Oh.
Some, so I can hear it.
Oh.
All nations. All nations. There's a conjunction that says, and what?
Some.
And some. And some. Of who?
Of them.
Of them. Some of them what?
He.
He.
Will.
Oh. You know what the word will is? Pleasure. The Hafates. He's going to have pleasure. He will what?
Spare.
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 He will raham. He's going to show them pity. He's going to show them kindness. Matter of fact, you use the word nasa. He will forgive them. He will forgive them, my son. And what?
Others.
And others what?
He.
He what?
Will kill.
He will kiss them.
Kill.
He's going to kill them, dirty bastards. You are stupid in your analogy and your dialogue, thinking you can identify his nation as a whole. Do that, my son. You're not going to hear this nowhere else but here. Period. He don't kill you, Sonny Holt. I've seen the stupidity of these people. Yeah, you got in the bondage. Can I read that?
Yeah.
This is what Baruch says. Here, he will call all nations. There's not a nation that he's not going to call, is it?
Right.
He will call all nations.
All nations.
And some of them he will not save. He said, I forgive you.
Yes.
He said, I'm going to spare you. Well, those are Hebrews, but they're from nations. They're not just from this wicked nation.
Right.
They're from all nations.
Yes.
They're from all nations. He will spare. He will spare. He will not save. You never heard that. I listen to these clowns. I know how to analyze a person's speech. We were talking the other day, I said to one, he said, well, that's mobile. I said, that's mobile. You understand what the word mobile means? Mobile means that something that has the ability to move or to reposition itself. So I don't care what it is, it's mobile. It is. If he had said, this is more nimble, it's okay. I can understand that. Nimble, that one, it has the ability to squeeze in the tight spots. It can do things that something that is mobile can't do. I don't care if you're driving a tractor trailer like him or pulling a horse and buggy. They're all mobile.
Yeah.
This is a generation that it doesn't like to be corrected. I correct men, women all the time. I'm not around your daughters, but if you're around me, I will correct you.
Yes.
I'll tell you, stop your childish ways. Grow up. You're immature. You have no sure confidence. That's why you act like that. That's why you do things like that. Because you're not sure. I said to the people the other day, I said, what is the most powerful thing y'all gave us? Well, my friend right there, he said he gave us life. I said, that's an excellent answer. I didn't say, Mom, wrong. There's nothing more powerful. One says he gave us, and he did it in a way like, I know it, and he gave it to us like a dash. I could have said, Bob, wrong. There's nothing more powerful than words. There's nothing more powerful than the mother saying, baby, I love you. There's nothing more powerful than he saying, baby, I appreciate you. There's nothing more powerful than the mother saying, I love you, son. There's nothing more powerful than the mother saying, I love you, daughter. I don't care whether you birth them or not. It doesn't make any damn difference. Do you realize how that changes one's life? There's nothing more powerful than words. I love you. I hate you. My mother would say that. That would hurt me. Oh, my. My mother would tell me she hated me. It would tear me apart. I would go somewhere and cry. And yeah, I'm not good. And let nobody see me do it, you know. But that was the most powerful thing. And when she would tell me, I love you, baby. Not only am I mopping the floor, cleaning up the bathroom. We didn't have one of the little things you have today, little brush. We had a rag that we get down and that toilet. We scrub that thing out, baby. I did. And when I would see the job, I would finish up. I would hand mop the floor on my knees. And I'd just stand back and look at it. That's why I like cleanliness. I like for things to be clean and orderly. Well, it didn't take long for them to. That's in between saying you love someone. God tells us he loves us and he shows us. Love is a formidable action that even those that don't know how to love will understand the beauty of it. You think that love is correcting someone. See, his love corrects you. A man, the Bible, he sure hasn't all these years of marriage. You doing that if you don't stop? No, she never told me that. Her love for me kept me straight. Her love for me kept me straight. Her kindness to me kept me straight. It made me wanting to be around her and be at home. Her kindness, her love. That's what kept me straight. I've never hung out with anyone. I've hung out with Achim here, in Charlotte. We played basketball. We did something. He was at Charlotte. We hung out more than anyone. They was close by. There's nothing more powerful than that. When we were about to adopt a child years back, the adoption agency, IBM, was paying for everything. They say, let the child know that they are adopted. And you give them a name that expresses what they mean to you. And you tell them every day, remind them what that name means. Like Kosat. Oh, they could have given you much Kosat. You think, Papi, I would have left you for them. I will always love you. I know we don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. Yes. Say, give the child a name to let them know you care for them and love them and you remind them. You know, even if you don't know how to say you love someone, tell them you love them, and it will become an adaptation to your personality. And the last time you told someone you love them, you don't know how to. It's a cold generation. Yes. That's right. I mock it. Last time you told them they're beautiful. Mama said, Daddy, you should tell your children. I say to the young man, thank you, sir. I don't. He does something. I said, son, why are you doing that? He said, Prophet, this is how I stack it on my porch. Well, boy, you waste too much time stacking it. Then we put those crabs up there. I said, sir, thank you kindly. I'll leave you alone, sir. Stack the blocks. I'm like, boy, I said, you got a jigsaw puzzle. You just put the things there, boy. I said, you only have a limit in the thing. I'm like, what? Stacking? Everything fit like a... Boy, get out of here. But I know how to appreciate that. His son was helping me with that cage out there. I said, boy, thank you, sir. Thank you. That's how I respond to thank you, sir, so kindly. I appreciate your help. And I was going to use him the next day, and I was going to give him a little offering. Yeah, that's right. I was going to give him something. I still got you all. I got you, okay? Get on, just pay attention, son. All you gotta do is slide that back to me through that hole. But don't worry about the birds. Don't worry about where he and Adam there are. Riding them. Well, because I care for him, I said, well, I'm not gonna. He's the only one working there, riding the bicycle. I said, give me this last one. I just got one more after this one already. Just give me a little hand on this one. See, there's an anticipation, expecting. I promise you this is the last one. But if we finish this right here, tomorrow, let's just do this right quick. Where you going? He said, I got to go home, Mama. I said, no, you go tell your mama I said. You go to Abner. And here. Till I said it. Ain't nobody going to fight me. Ain't nobody going to fight me. I'm a bad soldier, boy. That's right. Look what it says here. He will call, again in verse 2, he will call them all out of all nations, and some of them he will spare, and some of them he will not serve. He's going to forgive nations, because every nation has not done the Hebrews wrong. Every nation has not done the Hebrew Israelites wrong. That nation that have never had contact with them, every nation has not done them wrong. Every nation has not done them wrong, son. Every nation has not done them wrong. Every nation has not done them wrong. Not every nation, Ukraine had nothing. Every nation, well, your forefather did that. We're paying for the sins of our forefather. But yet there's a blessing when we obey Yah. Every nation has not done them wrong. Either throw away Baruch, because it has no truth to it. Some he will spare, he will not serve. He will be kind to them. He will forgive them. Yes, I know that. You didn't know. There are folks in certain places, never had a generation that could read. They're so isolated. There are folks don't even know. There are folks in what we call the civilized world. Don't even know. Can't even read or write. And that's a fact. Does it say he's going to spare them?
Yes.
Does it say he's going to spare them?
Yes.
And others he's going to kill. Who, like you that think you're Hebrews, he's going to kill you devils. You dirty devils. You're hard-headed. And listen to this, and every nation, and every nation, and every nation. Does it say every nation?
Yes.
That means all, whole is not a descriptive of the word all.
Yes.
Every nation which have not known YisraYah'ale. So every nation knows is YisraYah'ale. You mean people don't even know you're YisraYah'ale. Do they do your own jackass? I tell you what, boy, all these years I've seen these hillbillies, they've done me right. Ain't no doubt about it. I like you. I'm glad you do. Save me some money. The man we get the hay from, he knows we're going to pay him. Don't worry about it. Hold that man for 3 years. I say anytime you want your money, let us know, or we will work it off. Because we do work for him. He's not worried about his money. We owe him thousands of dollars. We're not going to leave a bad name. Turn that on for them. We're not going to leave a name that jeopardizes our integrity. Over $1,000, get out of here. I want to read that again in 2 Baruch 72:4. You watch them on the corners, they incriminate everyone. People don't even know what an Israelite is. What your forefather did. Well, my forefather of the seed of the Hebrews, they cursed their Abba, they kicked him in the face. Does he forgive us? That's why he said, nations, I'm going to spare them, and their nations, I'm going to kill them bastards.
Yes.
And nations, he said, and every nation which has not known YisraYah'ale, which has not the rock, they're not trodden down. They're not trust. The seed of Jacob will live. Does it say that?
Yes.
Does it say that?
Yes.
You can't put all that on one cue card. Can I read it again?
Yes.
That's why he commands us to lechag. That's why Shaul told Timothy. Now can you say, I have lechag? I have studied.
Yes.
Am I showing myself approved unto Yah? Is everything I'm reading rightly divided? Are there any concepts I've devised and try to twist the word and form it? I want to read that one more time. I want to read that again. I got you, devils. I want to start in verse 2 and 3 and 4 again. Let me read that. After the signs which have come, of which I have spoken to you before, when the nations are moved, and the time of my anointed one, Yahshua, he's coming. Anointed one comes, bo, enter in, he will call not some, but he will call all nations. And some of them he will spare. Some of the nations, he's not going to kill. Some of the nations he's going to spare.
Yes.
That's why he commands us as a nation. I don't give a damn if he's a white man, you call him ESAU. I don't give a damn if he's an Arabic. As much as we have opportunity, we do right by all men. But when you know that's YisraYah'ale, you do something special for him. Only a fool can understand that. I don't care who you are. I don't care if I'm talking to my ESAU. I don't care if I'm talking to my son. I don't give a damn if I'm talking to you. I gotta tell you something. I'm talking to each of you.
Yes.
Yes. Bless you.
How can you instruct someone in Torah when you need to be instructed? You can instruct me. Your testimony does more to instruct me than your words. He said, Yah said, I will spare, and others I will kill. And he puts a period, that period. When he puts that there, I'm going to kill those dogs. Your prayer. Did he kill YisraYah'ale? Did he send the butcher behind his own people? Did he kill them?
Yes.
All right. Then he says, these things will befall the nations which will be spared. Those that will be chamach. I'm going to show them compassion. I'm going to show them pity. Has he not spared us many of the time?
Hallelujah.
That's the kind of sparing he's going to spare the nation.
Hallelujah.
Why are you going to do that? They're going to be spared by Yah. Why? He says, every nation, every people from, because everyone in America is a nation. We are a nation in this nation, but yet we're a nation. There are nations that are Irish, there are nations that are Spaniards, there are nations that are English, there are nations that are in this country, you understand? But he said that every nation singular, every nation which has not known Yisrael. You think they know YisraYah'ale? You think they identified that with that on the corners and in the metroplex? But every nation that has not known YisraYah'ale, and which has not the right, thrash them, trodden them down the seed of Jacob will live. What do you say about that, boys? Come on. I've got you. I'll take you down. I'll out-wrestle you. How old are you, 25? I'll take you down. I'll out-wrestle you. That's the only sports I wanted to do, and I was an excellent wrestler. As they would say, wrestler. I could wrestle. But it interfered with basketball. But I wanted to wrestle, man. Not like the Brute Bernard and the Skull Murphy, Haystack Captain. I'm not talking about those wrestlers. And I would have been bad too. I know that. That's what Yah says, doesn't it? Yah says those nations, I'm going to allow them to live. They're going to bring offerings into my Kadosh place. That's why we must confess the power of Yah before the Gentiles and the Gentile nations. Oh man, I had too much. Oh, preacher, you talk too much. Ouch. Let me go a little further, all right? Hallelujah. We just saw in 2nd Baruch what this is about. When his Kadosh one, his anointed one shall come. It's about judgment, isn't it? Quickly in the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 2. I want to read this quickly. Joel, chapter 3, verse 2. Yah says, I will also gather in the same frame all nations. Does it say all nations?
Yes.
It says not all, just some.
Oh.
All nations, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He says some nations I'm going to kill. What he's going to do with all those nations he's going to gather? He said, I will bring them down to the valley of YHWH. Is that what he says?
Yeah.
I'm bringing them down to the valley of death, son.
Yeah.
And I will plead with them for my people. Why you do my people wrong? Why you do them wrong? Why the captivity of bondage? There was a law to slavery. There were Hebrew Israelites that owned slaves. I'm going to prove all things. And they were as dogmatic as the ones they called ESAU. They treated them wrong and abused them. He said, I'm going to plead with them for my people and for my heritage. Do you believe that we are the heritage of YHWH?
Yeah.
He said, we are his heritage.
Yes.
You that faintly hear me today, where are they? His heritage. Whom they were scattered among, not a nation, not a hemisphere, but among the nations,
Yes.
and parted my land. That's where they are, among all nations. They have penetrated. Did the Hebrew Israelite marry Hittite wives?
Yes.
Did they marry wives of Hittite and Canaanite? Did they marry daughters of ESAU? Sure they did. What are those children? Are they Hebrew Israelites? You that are staunch of your Hebrewism and your ESAU doctrine, did they marry them? Sure they married them. They married them. And that one son has produced thousands out of that loins. Because his sons have married the same kinds of daughters that his father married. And it doesn't take long for people collectively to multiply when they're making babies. It doesn't take long for there are people that not only is the great-grandfather here, because in this generation, the great-great-grandfather, look, I'm a great-great-great-uncle. Could be a great-great-great-uncle, great-great-uncle. At my age. That's a fact. Their families get together. There are hundreds of them. The oldest and the youngest. Doesn't take much. Because they're going to double. They're going to go from 100 to 200, 240, 400, 800. It doesn't take long. From 1,000 to 2,000. And they double exponentially, triple, within that generation. He has scattered us throughout all the nation. All the nation. That's where he scattered us.
Yes.
But he gives us a comfort here. I know you all believe this one. I'm going to read it. And I'll tell you where I'm reading from. Listen to this. Everyone listen. This is what he counts nations as. And you all know this one, especially you Hebrews. Isaiah chapter 40. Listen, no. Just listen. Chapter 40, verse 17. Yes, chapter 40, 17. Does he say all nations? That's what he said. All nations. Before him is as but nothing. See, all Hebrews, Israelites as they call themselves, they will quote that. All nations before Yah is as nothing. So if all nations are as nothing, we take that adjective, all, are his people in all nations.
Yes.
That's when the theme hasn't it?
Yes.
So you can't negate they're in all nations. and say, this is true. All nations are counted to him less than nothing, and they are full of vanity. Did y'all say that?
Yes.
So what he said, there's no value in the nations. We as a nation, Israel, there's no value in us. Unless we commit to do what he commands us to do, nation. And if we're not a committed people to that, we're no more than a goyim. And that's why in 99.9 cases in Torah, he identified us as a goy, a heathen people, far removed from him, don't even know him. That's how he identified. In the rare occasion, he will use the words am, which is my people, my nation, my people. Very seldom. I search things down to the core. But I got a teaching just on that, the word nations. And how it deals with us as a people. He calls us the same thing he calls the heathens. Goy. 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 Goyim. He calls us heathens. Just a nation. Far removed from him. No love for him. No attachment to him. No love for him. That's what he calls us. Nation. No different at all. And so they were called all nations. You don't mean nothing to you. Not nothing, but nothing. He told me that you don't mean that to him. That nations he's going to spare. And nations that have not done us wrong. That nations that have not done us wrong. I don't know what the historical book of those that call the Russians, what they have done to us as a people. Well, I'm quite sure they have done things to us. But as a collective people, there are nations that have not done anything to people of my hue. That's a fact. Or those that are called YisraYah'ale. And those that are of his seed in every nation. And you got to be a wild, stupid jackass to think that YisraYah'ale is in this just nasty, wicked country. They have scattered their puts.
Yes.
I scattered those seeds in here. You can go to there and find one. You can go to find one. And when a nation of people becomes submerged and immersed in a nation, it doesn't take long for features and all that to degenerate. But the DNA of Yah's DNA is still there. And I don't care to the process, just say they were blackest, that, what you call that there. And the process of that DNA is still there to produce that kind of looking seed. And the skin becomes lighter, lighter, whiter, 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 whiter. They're there. And through generation after, how the hell you going to tell me because someone's face is red, that's ESAU, you're stupid. That's an ignorant man. Man that talks like that, woman, they have no assurance. They're shallow, they're weak. They have nothing to stand on. Prove it. I say, don't man, prove it to me. He ain't my brother, but the Torah says ESAU. You don't take nothing from your brothers. Don't Moshe, you ain't taking nothing from your brothers. Leave them alone because they're afraid of you. This is a stupid generation, nation. You don't have a lot of men. I don't listen to no one but the Akim here. That's just, I'm just being honest with you. Because I like what that man preached on Keith reading. How about that?
Hallelujah.
How about that for me all day? I will eat that all day. Dress it right and cover down. 40 inches all around. We had some bad soldiers out of Nam when I was in there. They didn't play. Dress it right and cover down. 40 inches all around. Yole, 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 yole. We are marching on soldiers, going down to the battlefield. And you get on, yeah, let's sing it. We're marching down soldiers, on down to the battlefield. Them drills can roll. I wanted to be a drill sergeant. I was going back and had to become a military police officer or drill sergeant. And y'all said, no, no, no. You're going to be a drill. Not in that army. You're going to be a police officer. But not there. I need you in my army. You were signed up before you were born, boy. He said, before your mommy was birthed, I had you in the army of Yah. How about that? You know, I like it. That's an excellent teaching. Somebody ought to preach that. The army. Listen to this. I want to close with these two, and I got 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that's about to roll next week. Well, here is I can't get out of here. Listen to this. Yah talks about as he's going to bring all the nations down to Jehoshaphat, and Yoel says, but this is a profound statement here in Jeremiah. Turn there quickly. Jeremiah, chapter 30. Chapter 30, verse 11. One verse. Look at what Yah says. He's going to bring a full end to the nations whereby they have done YisraYah'ale wrong. The prophet, the Noble Jeremiah says, Jeremiah 30:11, Yah says, for I am with you, says Yah. For what reason? He's here to deliver us. He said, do I make a full end of some nations or all nations? All nations. All nations. He said, I'm going to make a full end of all nations. Where? Why? Did he scatter us to some nations or all nations? He says, where I have scattered you. How can you say that the 12 tribes are only here in the Americas? How are you going to make up those phony lying charts? It's a lie. How are you going to make up those lies and just get out there and bloviate all day? How are you going to make that up? Yet there's no identity to Brazil at all. It's a lie. And I'm here to challenge you. And if you all prove it, if you prove it, we're broke as they come. But Yah be my witness as I sit here. You trust me, son. We will sign this entire land over to you if you prove it. That's how sure I am. Prove it. Prove to me that ESAU is the white man. Prove it. I want you to prove it. I want you to prove it. You got a little bit of that white blood in you. Isn't it amazing that blood is blood? Blood is the life. You go in the hospital and say, I don't want no ESAU blood in me. They put it in you. How about that?
True.
I said, I don't want no hard man blood in me. And these jackasses. I don't go to doctors, that's me. You understand? They will let the one they call their enemy ESAU know what hell you gonna cut on me. I ain't gonna allow it. No, I ain't not gonna allow it. And yet they got gravity in their brain. You little sugar sweet pea. You just as shallow as that. And I love sweet peas too. I don't like them cooked. I like them salads. I love sweet pea salads. I love them. How about that? Yah says in Jeremiah 30:10, he's going to make a full 30:11, and I will make a full end of the nations where I've scattered you. Then there is a coming. Yet will I not make a full end of you. Don't think that YisraYah'ale, that you that identify as a Hebrew, that you get away. You've never loved nobody. You've never cared for no one. You've never been kind. You've never been affectionate. Kindness will always reciprocate kindness. When you're gentle to someone, it will always reciprocate that. When you don't know how to be kind, you're mature, all of us adults, and just a few of us, you should have the uttermost kindness toward each other. You should be gentle with each other. Your snobby, wicked attitude, you that are listening should do the same. Send an offering here. Extortionists, thieves. You can't go to bed ahead and get this. You can't stand on the corner in Harlem and get this. And when you come, you can eat some wonderful food, all right?
Hallelujah.
But I will correct you. I'm so glad. See, he's correcting us this week tonight. I will correct you in measures. Mama put that drop coat on. I'd rather her just put the stick on me a little bit at a time. He said, I will correct you in measures. And then he says, and I will not leave you altogether unpunished. You're going to pay for your sins. Whatsoever, it's not mocked. So whatsoever we sow, that shall we also reap. You're not going to get by, my friend. I will be a fool to be before you all, knowing that I'm a liar, I'm a thief, I'm one that masquerade as one that loves Yah, and I know in my house I'm a dirty dog. I'm trying to figure a way how to spend every nickel. You all know I'm spending money. If I spend it, you can't hide that. I said to the little ones, they need to help me do a little something. So my friend here, she came ready to work. I said, I'm too lazy. So you know I'm not spending no money. I'm not wasting y'all's money. And that's a fact. You take not that much. I make it all work. In fact, I make it work. I make every damn work. He's going to correct us that way. And I bless him for that.
Hallelujah.
I got one more verse I want to read. I want to stop that. I want to carry this. And that will give me 12 verses that I dealt with in that appendix. 12 is Torah. It's the 12 tribes. And that's what 12. I give you 12 verses. I want to read this one. We that are still in captivity, not just in the physical sense. I'm not under any bondage of captivity in the physical sense. My captivity is the captivity of my sins and my wayward ways and my violence, reproach against Yah. That I'm in great distress and bondage. But I'm not bound to the laws and the statutes of America. They don't affect me. I can do 55 on the road out there. I know I don't steal because Yah commands me not to steal. But let me read this last one here. I want you to find this. It's in First Baruch, chapter 3. First Baruch, chapter 3. One verse I want to read. Hallelujah. And then I'm going to stop here. First Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. He says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. Now all the Hebrews will take that from me, but they won't take the rest what I'm just. We are in the shibuth. We're on the bondage. We're on the rule. There's a price that's been paid for us. We've been paid for. That is what shibuth is. We are yet to this day in our, listen now, listen to what it says. It's my own captivity. We are yet this day in our captivity. Not just a captivity collective, but the captivity of my own sins and my own corruption. Then he signifies that with the comma. We're there because where you have scattered us. You have scattered us.
Hallelujah.
Yah has. Why? For a reproach. That's what Moshe said in Devarim 28. For a reproach and a chara, a curse. People look at you and say, ah, he looks silly. Don't even know you. I'm to be subject to payment. We work the 9 to 5, we're subject to payment. We're subject to payment. We've been born from our own iniquity has purchased us. We're subject to payment. We break the Shabbat, the commands of Yah, the more deadly feast days because you got the word, you're subject to payment. Why? According to all the iniquity and the injustice of our fathers. Fathers, you make the path right for your sons and your daughters. Men that say they love Yah and they have not their sons and daughters, if they were powerful men, they will see that. They will see the constitution of a strong man. But they clown and jackass with them just like they do with any other clown. They're grinning and skinning and laughter, and they're full of frivolity. They don't stand as a strong man. And that's a fact. Which what? Departed from Yah, our Almighty. 12 verses. That's what Torah is. It's about Yah. You can't depart from him.
Hallelujah.
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 I'm going to continue this on next Shabbat. It will be part 2. I knew I couldn't get it all in one day, and I just kind of limited it to 10 pages.
Yeah.
But it all, when I bring it all to an end, it's going to bless you much. You that are listening as well, you that need this healing, just allow these words to heal you.
Yeah.
You don't have to find something to study this week. Study what you have heard.
Yeah.
You don't need, this is enough to take you to Wednesday night and next Shabbat. You study one verse at a time. And then you will see something that I didn't see. You will get a clearer understanding than I. But you can twig, tack, tack, and you can play on that thing all day. It's just the truth. Hypocrite. When one labors, if one goes to the gym, you know I'm not going to the gym. Don't worry about you, but I'm not going. Haven't been going. Spot here and there. But in my day when I was going, you knew I was going every day because you could see it. So, why do I use that analogy? Because when we truly love Yah and we apply the principles of Yah to our lives, everyone will see it. And don't tell me, I can see when you're nutty.
Hallelujah.
I can see when you get emotional. I can see when you get stupid. It's not about you.
Hallelujah.
It's not your little silly ways. Grow up.
Hallelujah.
You're around me, they will find out women.
Yeah.
Your daughters will be in trouble around me.
Yes.
I know that. I'll tell you because I wouldn't spend nothing.
True.
Yah gives us Ima here. She is an Ima. She's a mother.
Yeah.
She's been married more years than most of you are age. She's a mother. She has proven herself to be a mother. She's an hope, but she's an Ima.
Yes.
You understand? She carries herself that way because I see how people approach us and look at us and how they. I see it all the time. She is a mother. Well, she hasn't had a baby. You've had them, and that's all you had. All right. Their cows out there that have calves, they don't care about them.
True.
Their goats that have dropped them, they don't care about them. Their sheep that drop them, they don't even touch them or even give them milk. So don't tell me because you had a baby that means that you got a proficient skill set. That's silly. Her testimony speaks.
Yeah.
She keep mess going on. Yes, she keep that mess out of you and let you know quit being silly. And the thing of it is, I can see if she never, I don't even know what I'm saying this, but I'm going to say it. If you need a helping hand, she's always there.
That's right.
You damn hypocrite. You're not there when somebody needs a helping hand. Get out of here. I'm not even let you even. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Let the work I do speak for me. Let the way I walk speak to me. Let the work, the way I walk speak to you, Yah. It will be well. In the inner wanting, let the work I do speak for me. I want my words to speak.
Hallelujah.
All my actions to speak. I want when I leave here that Akim knew that I love them. The daughters of Zion would say he's been fair. You know, when I visit my friend in the hospital, and I do all the talking. Or even when they listen, when I talk, everybody listen. That's fact. And I watch his issue and her expression. She's been with me longer than ever you all here. And then her Ima, her expression. Now I make her all mad, I make you mad, I make her mad, I make him mad, I make me mad, and I make you mad. It's all right.
True.
But it's one thing that I can see in her expression. He's telling the truth. I know you're a good child. I know you will. I don't care what nobody says. No, I know it. She knows.
Hallelujah.
She's been with me a long time. From day one. ESAU was there before she was there. And she was there before they were there. Where are those men? Little boy shooting marbles, but they're still here. I'll take these few achim And I guarantee you we'll move a mountain.
Yes.
Ain't no doubt about it. Ain't no doubt about it. There ain't no doubt about it. We will.
Yes.
Then to take a multitude of fledgling fools. I'm all right. You know it's all right. It's all right. I feel so down because it's all right. You know it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right with me. Hey, hey, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, it's all right with me. You're being encouraged. Bless you all. You all send an offering. That's enough for you all. There's another $10. Send an offering here. Don't be so. Tell me, have you heard this before? If you have, don't send a nickel. But if you haven't, send an offering. You understand? Send an offering. Send your tithes and offering. Don't let these fools tell you tithes are done away with. I got to preach that again. Hallelujah. Let us stand to our feet. Bless you all.
Hallelujah.
Turn toward YHWH who in this captivity in all things, my Abba. I do barak in Yeshua's name. I pray your healing upon Zion. I pray for our Zachin, his Ishon.
Yes,
Bless them mightily. Those that are in affliction, we all, Yah. Heal us. Heal my man above all. And in healing my mind, you heal us all. Anoint us this day with your ruach of receiving. We receive your simple truth. We will not fight against you, Yah, nor battle. Bless our young ones, our babies, our young sons and daughters of Zion. We pray for our friends. We pray for them everywhere. Those have tried to separate us from you. We pray for the nation. Heal us. Feed us, Yah, as thy word said. Feed me until I want no more. And I can't get enough of your Torah. So bless us. Watch over us and those that whereby the inclement weather is approaching. We bless you, Yah, even for the rain and everything. I don't pray for rain, Yah, but I bless you for all things. Bless the King. Give them health in their bodies and minds. They have worked in the daughters of Zion and their preparation. Taking care of us and making sure there's plentiful, wonderful food to eat. We pray for the poor and those that are in despair. In Yeshua's mighty name. Look upon your nation and every nation. Look upon your nation and all the nation. Look upon YisraYah'ale in China, in Russia, in Rome, in Italy, in Trinidad, Tobago, in Jamaica. Look upon them in every nation. In Brazil, Argentina, in Mexico. Look upon your people, I pray. This is our prayer. And this is our request of you this day in Yeshua's name. With our voices we cry, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Nation.
forsaken you, but with great mercies will I gather you, says Yahweh. In a little rest, I hid my face from you for a small moment, but with everlasting kindness, Yah will have mercy on you. Says Yahweh, your Redeemer. Says Yahweh, your Redeemer. Therefore, the redeemed shall return with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away. They shall be saved. For it's Yahweh who redeems Israel. But now, says Yahweh, that created you, fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by my name. When you pass through the waters, you will not be drowned. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. Therefore, the redeemed shall return with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall